Okay, well, let's just go ahead. We'll go ahead and get started. Usually, a bunch of people start coming in a little bit later. For one, thanks for being here, and thanks for representing 100 Finance. Let's just start with introducing a little bit about yourself, your history in crypto, and how you became part of their team, part of the team.
So I was introduced to BTC in 2009, and learned about the tech, but never had a chance to
Real quick,
experiment. Yeah.
How did you get introduced to BTC in 2009?
I was looking. I was in one country and had to transfer money to another country, and it was kind of very not difficult, but it took a lot of time back in the days to transfer from one country to another, and you had to go through many formalities and stuff. So I was looking for ways to do that, and that's how I found BTC. And then apparently I found some other option and never used it, but I created the wallet and set it up, and did some research, but then kind of stopped and didn't do anything in crypto till 2017. And 2017, I was working at one company, and I had a like executive role there, and we were like an IT company, and had a lot of folks, like a designer, one very active designer I had, and he was always telling me that, hey mate, look, there are so many things in crypto. Crypto is so cool, and Ripple, and some other tokens, and Cardano and whatever. So and he was like pushing, and I was like, yeah, let me see and try it, and I did. And I tried it, then invested in many different projects. Like I had millions of tokens, like many people back in 2017. And then this crash came, and I lost it all. But I was kind of already experimenting with the different blockchains and protocols, and I saw something that the tech was really cool. Like, I mean, the ability to send, to transfer, the smart contracts. I participated in EOS sale back in the days on chain, if you remember. I mean, some people from those times, it was really cool to interact on chain with smart contracts directly. And, even considering I lost almost everything I invested, I never stopped, and I decided to move on and learn more and more and more, and got involved in many, not many, but in some projects, started to build communities around the projects, helping folks out with different questions, like newcomers and all. And I'm still here. As for 100, during DeFi summer, I was part of Degen trading channel on Synthetics Discord and the Synthetics community. That's where I met a lot of folks, including VFed and Terabellus, who is also part of our team. And we just were farming, discussing, and joking, and did a lot of other things, investing. And apparently, at one moment, VFAT invited me to Percent Finance, which is a predecessor of 100. And after it turned out like the Percent Finance was not successful, and the project had to be shut down. And I joined already when it was closed, and 100 was work on 100 was being done. And yeah, that's it. And that's how I joined 100.
Nice.
And I'm doing I'm doing also operations in several crypto funds. For example, own fund, which is social, which is investing in DAO on social projects. Yeah, like a lot of different roles. But 100 is my main currently.
So in a couple of words, what is 100 Finance?
Yeah, so 100 Finance is decentralized, it's a debt lending protocol, in short. So,
yes.
And we're a fork of Compound, and but the difference is that we have a mission to launch on smaller chains, be very proactive and fast, and since bigger protocols like Aave or Compound, they are mostly concentrated on big chains. We found a niche and we're launching on smaller chains and doing basically the same thing with some differences. For example, our focus is stable coins, so we don't incentivize borrowing at all, but we do incentivize stablecoin supplies. And since we have a lot of liquidity in stablecoins from the users, we our on borrowing side, we are very cheap. It's very cheap to borrow stables on 100, so it opens a lot of opportunities to people. For example, shorting or longing other assets, or just get cheap stables and do with them something elsewhere.
Now, when you say it's very cheap to borrow on 100, can you give me an example of is it because you don't charge interest rates, or your interest rates are lower, or fees are lower, or just having lots of liquidity on stable? Yeah, can you go into why it would be cheaper for you?
Yeah, sure. So we our fees are very, very low, and we have a lot of liquidity in stables, since people are supplying in order to get NHND APRs. And for example, if we look at Phantom right now, people can borrow meme at 3.3% or APY, USDC at 2.67, USDT at 3.14, and DAI at 174. So this is really cheap. And liquidity on meme, for example, is 20 plus million and 31, almost 31 million on USDC.
This is on Phantom right now.
Yeah, it is on Phantom right now.
Nice. Yeah. So okay. So I wasn't that familiar with 100. So I started looking through the docs. It seemed like there was a lot to understand. Now I know if you're super familiar with the lending borrowing platform, it's similar, but there are differences. So, but how are you different from like you said, Aave or Compound? What makes you guys unique, other than the fact that you're focusing on smaller chains?
Like I said, we focusing on smaller chains. That's the first thing. Then the second thing, we are attracting stablecoin liquidity by incentivizing supplies of stablecoins and staking on our debt. And we disallow folding. So this is also something no one else does. And the other thing which is important to note, we are using only Chainlink supported markets. So if, for example, a token doesn't have a Chainlink supported price feed, we cannot add it to our markets, because we believe that security is very important. And we have good relationships with Chainlink and doing some things together with them and supporting them on new chains as well. And so these are some things. And also another thing which is not like we think we are the first ones from borrowing protocols in general who introduced V model, VHND model on lending platform. So it's basically a fork of Curve V model when users can boost their rewards by locking VHND the same way Curve users lock their CRV and get up to 2.5x boost on their stablecoin supplies.
Okay, so there's a lot you went over right there that I want to ask about. So you disallow folding. So what was the reason for you guys doing that? Because it seems like everyone allows folding, right? So I was just curious what drove you to do that.
Sure. So HND token is not just a token for farming. Our mission with HND token is to distribute it as widely as possible before we introduce multi-chain governance later this year. So by giving out HND token through, for example, stablecoin supplies, we are distributing to many people across different chains. And VHND basically is our the key element of the system. This token will govern fully the protocol, and for example, VHND holders will be able to vote and distribute all the fees from the platform and get them.
So the incentive is to distribute HND just throughout the ecosystem rather than
yes. So we that's why we basically disallowed folding. People are fair and everyone is equal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So only Chainlink feeds. So one of my questions was going to be XBoo when, but clearly, we're not hooked up with Chainlink yet. But you're saying you do have connections with Chainlink, so maybe you can throw in a good word for us. I'd appreciate that.
Yes, for sure. If you are in contact already with them, we can pick it up and definitely something can be done there. Yeah, we can do it from our side.
So you mentioned two tokens here, HND token and the VE-HND. How do those, just for someone that have no clue, how do those differ?
Okay, so HND token is our basic primary token. We distribute, it's tradable and available across chains. VHND is voted escrow HND token, meaning that it's non-transferable token locked on one of the chains you are using. Currently, if you are, for example, looking HND for VHND on Phantom, you can boost your supplies only on Phantom, but there will be MVHND token pretty soon. We're already testing it on Moonriver, where VHND token will go multi-chain and you will be able to boost your rewards elsewhere. And it won't matter where you have VHND locked, HND locked on Phantom or on Arbitrum or anywhere else. You will be able to use it anywhere.
So how do I get the VE-HND? Is it just locking HND and I get VE-HND in return?
Yes, there is a page, vote.100.finance, where people can use calculator to calculate how much boost they can get. And that's also the place where they lock the HND for VHND and also where they vote for gauges. With VHND, they not only get a boost on their stablecoin supplies, they can also vote for gadgets to get better APRs.
And this is where you have a locking mechanism where you can lock it for a duration, certain amount of time.
Yes, exactly, up to 4 years.
Wow.
And basically, one HND locked for 4 years equals one VHND. If you lock, for example, for a year, you will get 0.25 VHND per one HND, etc.
I see. And the big and two, you have a two. Just to reiterate here, you have a 2.5 x boost for VEHND maximum.
Yeah. So it depends. It can be like 1.5 or 2, and it depends on the formula and on the total amount of VHND, on votes, on TVL. So it's best to use calculator to see how much VHND you need to boost your rewards, like maximum.
Okay. So now in your docs you also mentioned there's an H token. That's something you haven't mentioned. So can you clarify what that is?
So basically, when you supply a token to it's a compound model, and it came from there. So when you supply a token into the vault, into the gauge, you get an H token, which is a representation of the underlying asset, and it acquires the APY from the borrowing side.
Okay. So
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at what my questions were right here because we've covered quite a bit. So what happens let's talk liquidations here. So what happens when my borrow amount exceeds my loan amount? How you guys handle that?
Okay, so we have a couple of integrations, like bots can do it, anyone can do it, and also we are partnering with B protocol on Phantom as well, where people supply liquidity for liquidations, and they can liquidate positions when the time is right and it's needed. So, and we through B protocol we did, like, there were a lot of liquidations to date already.
Okay, yeah. So in order,
yeah. Go ahead on.
Oh yeah. Okay. So just to reiterate, so when your borrow amount exceeds the loan amount, liquidations are handled either by bots or a user, and I believe they have to pay for some of the liquidity, and then it gets liquidated. I think that's how I read it.
Yeah. The same way everyone does it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Basically. But with B protocol, users can earn on liquidations. So there is a special pool where you add, for example, your USDC, and this USDC is used for liquidations, and people earn in case of liquidation the APR on the liquidated amounts.
Yeah, so it's a safe way to take part. You just put it in your USDC and you take advantage of liquidations. What kind of APR do you get on that, if you have any idea?
Well, it always depends on the amount of liquidation and when it was done. So, like roughly, it can be up to 5%, like at liquidation time, the premium.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that
and also? Sorry for interruption.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay.
And also we're incentivizing backstop pools, big protocol pools, with HND on top. So they are earning APRs at any given moment as well.
Okay, that was my next question in regards to the backstop provision. So you're also talking about using your protocol to long and short a token. Can you kind of explain how a user would go about doing that?
Like one will be interesting in 100 and in general in lending and borrowing protocols. Our way initially was to make very good comprehensive docs, and that's what we are doing. We have everything covered there, including this part on how to long and short assets. But basically in several sentences, it can look like, for example, I supply some ETH or like Phantom VTM on 100, borrow against that VTM, for example, USDC, and if FTM, and for example, when I borrow this USDC, I can buy some more Phantom and lock it, or for example, provide this USDC to get APRs on the platform. And in case Phantom goes like grows, I'm staying with my USDC and getting liquidated. But if Phantom goes down, then I am ending up with more USDC than I could have with just holding Phantom, for example. That's how shorting can work.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned it a little bit on H&D token. How are the ways I can use your H&D? Like I look at Spookyswap and I see H&D token. What would make me want to buy it to participate in your protocol?
So there are a lot of things happened already. I will talk a bit about it, and I will also say what is coming next. So basically, like I said earlier, VHND token is the main governing token of the platform, and what happened already is we received first grant from Phantom Foundation, and we distributed part of it to VHND holders across all chains. So we did it 2 times already, and then there was a V token initiative where V token is going to launch their own token, and 0.6% of total V token supply will go to VHND holders as well. The snapshot was taken already. Now what is happening, for example, with Solidly launch, we are going to, the protocol itself is going to create a pool on Solidly, FTM HND pool. We will vote for it and start farming Solid. And basically, VHND holders will be getting keys back to them, and we will continue the different other things in order to incentivize VHND holding and making sure VHND holders are benefiting from everything the platform does and everything it owns or possesses. So there are a lot of things, and also any future grants will benefit VHND holders as well.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's a lot of work you're doing for VHND tokens. Now, these tokens. Now, if I heard correctly, these can be done multi-chain. Like if I lock my H&D on Phantom, and I get your VHND token, I can take that over to Avalanche or Moon River or something like that.
So what happens is you cannot physically take it, but there will be MVHND token, which is mirrored VHND token, and so basically your VHND position on one chain will mirror to all other chains, and you will be able to use it across chains. No one did it yet, and we will be maybe the first ones to do it, basically. And it's coming this month. I think we already like there was an accident on Moonriver, and we took the opportunity to we need to relaunch, redeploy all the gouges, and it's needed for MVHD. So we are going to start there and slowly move to all other chains. So a lot of exciting things coming.
So I missed. So how soon is this? You launched it,
February.
but it. Oh, okay. So essentially, right now.
Yeah. So basically, we already tested on testnet. We are in process of audit from one firm already onboarded for MVHD. They are already working on it. So the code is ready. So basically, we just need some like the results of audit, and we're launching pretty soon.
And this is how you're going to be able to do multi-chain governance using this.
Yeah, exactly. And the next step, which will take a little bit longer, but we are also one of the first protocols.
What's that? You're breaking up on me.
Multi-chain lending. So our goal is to allow a user to lend, supply assets on one chain and borrow on another chain. We already have the scheme how to do it in our heads and on paper, and we're just waiting for some additional tech we need to launch it. But I'm pretty sure it will be launched this year as well.
Oh, cool. So what chains are you on right now?
So we are live on Arbitrum. That was our first chain. Phantom, Harmony, and Moonriver. And we are launching. We are ready to launch on Gnosis and Optimism, but we delayed the launch due to the chain V. So we decided we will be deploying on those two chains because everything is ready. So
Gotcha.
yeah, and we aim to launch it on 1 to 2 chains per month.
So what kind of governance? What are some examples of what kind of governance I'll be able to use VH&D for? Do you have any plans of how it's going to be used for governance?
So basically, we already had several. Like in general, VH&D will govern everything: treasury, emissions, fees, development. It will be a full DAO mod at some stage. I think later this year. That's our plan to launch it this year. So VH&D will fully govern everything we do, and everything will be possible with it. But we already have several votes. I had several votes, for example, for V token. Those holders who voted, they will share 0.4% for all the of V token emissions, and 0.2% goes to everyone, like all other VH&D holders who didn't take part in voting. Yeah. So and we vote, for example, to whitelist protocols. Like we had a vote on Liquid driver integration recently as well. So yeah, we are kind of moving slowly but surely into full governance mode, and it will be exciting.
What kind of now in regards to the H&D tokens? Did you guys have VCs involved at the beginning? How are the tokens distributed? Can you go into just a little bit of tokenomics on it?
Yeah, no VCs at all, and so there is 100 million of H&D tokens available, like maximum total supply. 20% of those are granted to Compound DAO. We are grateful for Compound, the fork of Compound, so we decided to grant 20% of the supply to the DAO, and we have contact there, and Compound is waiting to take part in our governance later when we launch it. Then 20 million there was this percent token, the predecessor of 100. There was 20 million supply, and we gave an opportunity to folks from percent to swap 1-to-1 the percent token to 100. So 20 million or 20% of supply is granted for percent folks with the vesting schedule. Compound tokens vested for 4 years. Percent tokens, you get 10% HND at swap, and 90% is vested over a year. Then 40% we're using for liquidity API, like what we're doing with stable coins for partnerships and all. And we have a 4-year plan for those tokens in place, and 20% on development.
What's that last 20% you said?
Development team.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So what are your plans? You've mentioned a couple of them, but let's say a roadmap over this next year. What do you guys plan on adding or changing, or if you can cover the roadmap?
Yes. So basically, multi-chain expansion, further HND distribution, VHND integration, and user acquisition, of course. So what we want to really achieve this year is to launch fully the governance through VHND, to launch at least on 10 to 12 more chains this year. And also introduce the multi-chain lending. This is also planned for 2022. So it's this year will be 100 year for sure. We have a lot of plans, and we are planning to grow very fast, and we're expanding our team as well, and growing, and a lot of it's very exciting.
Yeah, 12 chains. Wow. So how big is your team?
6 people currently. So we have VFed, which is the leading developer and founder of 100. I am dealing with marketing, PR, operations, and the community. We have Terabellus, who's doing partnerships and taking care of the content and the docs. So he really made, I believe, great job with the docs. And once again, I encourage anyone who would like to know more, just hop into docs.100.finance, and you have everything there. We even have a section for all integrations, and we try to explain what each integration does, and it's very exciting. And we have video tutorials there as well. It's really we're always telling anyone new, please go check it out. And then we have Blue Crypt, our mathematician. He is behind of the formulas and this math things. And we have Shah, another senior dev, and Nipa taking care of our UI. And we have 2 more folks joining while.
Yeah, so let me reiterate your point about the docs. I was looking through them, and the video tutorials are excellent. They're not really long. They're really to the point. So to understand everything that you guys are doing, you did a great job providing information. So yeah, for anyone interested in trying to learn more about how to interact or use the protocol, the video tutorials and docs are excellent. So six plus. So you have six members. You're adding two. Oh yeah, my question. So VFAT is VFAT the VFAT from VFAT Tools? Or
Yes,
is,
that's
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm also helping him with community at the tools. Yeah, that's the legend.
Yes. Yeah. So, um, yeah. So I know early for anyone that's been on Phantom early on, VFAT was used, of course, a lot for a lot of protocols, small protocols that came up. So it was really helpful for the Phantom ecosystem in general. So,
V2 will be great. We are working now on Tools V2.
oh, cool. Any alpha you can release on that?
It will be fantastic. Yeah. Not
No. Okay.
that's
So,
alpha channel there. So from time to time, we run.
oh, I missed it. You were roboting out. Um,
Sorry.
what so on this, the docs are excellent. Oh yeah. So on chains, what's a chain? I'm just curious. What's a chain you're excited on getting on next? Because you're looking at so many this year. What's one that just kind of strikes you as like, man, I'm excited about getting on that one?
Gnosis.
Gnosis.
Yeah, Gnosis. Like, I mean, Phantom is always my favorite. So, and that's like Phantom. If you compare it to other chains we launched, it was a big chain. But I mean, Halloween, we just could,
Right.
So we had to launch on Phantom Halloween. So yeah, and Beethoven X guys introduced us to community initially. So yeah, it was kind of natural for us. But Gnosis is something I'm looking forward to.
And how soon? How soon are you looking? The next month or?
So basically, like I said, we could have launched there like a couple of weeks ago, but we decided to do the multi-chain VHND first. So I think it's around in a couple of weeks we will launch there. We will probably launch it once on there and Optimism, since Optimism is powered by Chainlink now.
So okay, so awesome. So I think that covers most of my questions. Now I do have some community questions I want to ask you. So my first question is, please, does your DAO have some kind of form to fill for a possible partnership? So how does someone get in contact with 100 Finance and about partnerships?
So I'm dealing with partnerships. So the best way to join our Discord and DM me or drop a line in on Discord. We are a very friendly community and a lot of people helping each other with different questions and all. But I'm the guy to talk to about partnerships.
Okay. So you're the man. So what does 100 Finance offer that would is another question. What does 100 Finance offer that would make someone want to move all their FTM? Man, I want to move all my FTM somewhere. Why would I want to move it to you guys?
Well, if you are looking for stablecoins, cheap stablecoins, and you don't want to sell your FTM, but you want to use it as collateral and get some cheap USDC, for example, I would move it and borrow that cheap USDC, do with it whatever I want, then repay and get my FTM back.
Yeah. Now this brings up a question I did not ask that I want to cover. So, for me to move all my funds to one protocol, I need to know that it's safe. What have you guys done to provide any security or to make me feel good about being Seifu with 100?
So first, we compound fork. We didn't do any significant changes to codes. And compound, as we all know, is battle tested, heavily audited, and all. And second, we use only Chainlink oracles, price feeds. And third, we are very picky with bridges. And so, yeah, three things. But price feeds is like most of the attacks on borrowing protocols are connected with prices. And if you're using Chainlink, kind of go like it's almost zero chance that you will have an attack vector like that. And Compound really is great tech. And but we have a call with Trail of Bits next week as well, so we will do for multi-chain actually lending. We're going to do audit with the Trail of Bits most likely.
Okay. Well, what bridge? Yeah. So with that, what bridges do you mainly focus on?
AnySwap is the one we're using right now.
Yeah, AnySwap. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
about as secure as you can get. So, so
I mean,
another
bridges are bridges. I mean, bridges are bridges, and kind of you never know. But we are not like, for example, I think 3 or 4 different bridges approached us with their partnership things and all, but we refused because it's very important to security is our top priority. So we are very picky on these things.
Okay. Another question I have is are there any upcoming partnerships or integrations for 100 Finance that you can tell us?
We're still waiting. Yeah, so we're still waiting for Liquid Driver integration, and another one in line is that one I cannot talk about right now. Unfortunately, only Liquid. Oh, yeah, I mean, some things are very strict. So yeah, Liquid Driver is the next one, and some others we are in talks or finalizing things. But we will definitely announce on our Twitter or Discord as soon as everything is out.
Okay, so I have another question. Now, you did kind of cover this as to what you're going to do with your Solidly NFT, what you have plans for. I guess this other question from the community is in relation to that. Have you talked to Solidex or Oxdao about joining forces with them? Do you have plans to? Are you considering that?
We talked to Solidex was the one we discussed a lot with community and with them, and we decided that we really want to go solo for now, and maybe a bit later we will join forces with others who is also going solo. There are a bunch of protocols who do it. So yeah, we will try to compound this much as we can, and because our mission is to grow our protocol, the value of VHND, and give back as much as we can to community, to VHND holders, to everyone who supports us. So that's how we decided on this. Like, I mean, if you join our Discord or you go in it till today, you saw a lot of talks in governance about it and about the possible ways and pros and cons of directions. But yeah, we decided to go solo for now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know those are the two big ones, Solidex and Oxdao. Now, just as a Phantom community person, it was cool to see Oxdao be mostly native tokens. That was cool. So I might personally be leaning that direction. But But yeah, no, that's
Yes, I understand, but
yeah, no, I totally see you guys going.
yeah,
You want to do what's best for your H&D holders, and if that's the route to go, yeah, hats off to you. That's that there's nothing wrong with that at all. So that covers the questions from the community. I think I've gotten all my questions. Let me look real quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I covered everything I wanted to ask. Um, I wanted to reiterate again just that the docs are excellent. So hats off to the person you
thank you.
mentioned who created those. The video.
Terrible says the guy.
Yes, yes. No, he did an excellent job. I do have just a general question for your team. I'm guessing you're a completely anonymous team.
Yeah.
Yep. And y'all are distributed all over the world, or kind of?
Yes, we are distributed all over the world, and we are basically 6 equal partners.
Nice.
There is, like, I mean, VFAT was the initial founder, but we are all equal right now, just doing different. Like, we decided that who is doing what, and that's the way it works right now. So we have our internal votes, of course, also like small DAO, but eventually, like I said, we will go full DAO mode.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Is there anything I didn't cover that you would want to add?
I don't think so. I mean, if anyone has any further questions, hop into our Discord, bring them on. We're happy to discuss, help you out, and educate. And dogs, yes. Like, I mean, I'm in love with our dogs, really. And because I think, I mean, I've read a lot of dogs and visited a lot of dogs from different protocols, but I think we're like Terra is doing a very good job with them, and we will keep it up, and we will definitely continue our execution on top. Will be fast, and I mean, VHND brought some gamification to platform, so people can vote on gauges to get more APRs on USDC rather than meme or etc. And I mean, we're ourselves DeFi OGs kind of, and we really in 100 we want to implement everything best DeFi has, and that's why we used Compound. That's why we are using Curve partially. That's why we are looking into multi-chain, because we see real potential there. So yeah, it will be very interesting.
No, that's great. Yeah, I think you guys are kind of an overlooked protocol right now, because people aren't familiar with what you have, and what you're doing for especially VE H&D holders. That's cool because I wasn't familiar with it. I mean, it's hard. It's hard as someone even who focuses on just one ecosystem like Phantom to know everything. So that's what I
Exactly.
like. I like talking to protocols like you guys and helping me understand it. And so I can
Yeah,
make
we're
better.
definitely. Yeah, we are definitely on the radar. We are not doing like huge marketing and stuff. We are because we're in growth phase right now still.
Yes.
So we are growing, and we want it to stay like that for a while, and because it gives us the ability to execute very fast and be very effective. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. Like, everything is coming, but we decided to go naturally, without the shilling and like real shilling and stuff. Like we are growing, building, educating. We are a long-term project. We are not here for a quick buck, and yeah, that's who we are. We are building and executing.
Yeah. No, that's a great point because yeah, I haven't seen any 100 finance shilling. So certainly not financial advice or anything like that, but it's something that would you rather get onto a project that is building behind the scenes and doing things like what you guys are doing for your VE, H&D tokens, than hopping onto the big, FOMO shill fest or anything like that. So yeah, I like what you guys are doing, and I think the word's going to get out, and y'all will grow organically, which is the best kind of growth, anyways. So
yeah, and also we're releasing POAPs like NFTs for everyone who is, for example, we even have a Phantom POAP, the one people could sign in on launch. So on launches we always do POAP. So we have 4 already in place. Actually 5. The solidly one also just went out when people who provided TVL, so we could secure the spot. They also got a POAP, like a small gift from us. From our
nice,
team.
nice,
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we're trying to, entertain people and do it differently in many different ways. So,
Yeah.
maybe nothing, but it's a small gift, and it's a memory. So it's really cool.
Yeah, no, that's fun. So those aren't used. Phantom chain protocols aren't really using the POAP NFTs. I've seen you've mentioned it. Chi mentioned it in our first AMA, but I haven't seen that, and that's something that I'd like to see more of the Phantom protocols start to use those. Just it's cool and fun. Yeah.
Yeah, POAP is. I know Patricio, and what they are doing and building is fantastic. They go like POAP is one of those businesses, in my opinion, which will go mainstream because it's like like scouts. You have this different how you call it, the things like you get in for doing something. So the POAP is proof of attendance protocol. So
yes.
really, yeah, I see Phantom. There is great potential there for sure.
Yes.
And it's really cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, awesome. So I don't have any other questions. Community doesn't have any questions. I really appreciate you giving us the time and explaining your protocol to us. And
Thank you for
yeah,
having me.
I think people should check you guys out. Check the docs. Check out the videos. They're excellent.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Spooky community. And I'm really fan of Spooky and using it myself. So yeah.
Great.
Boo.
Boo. Yeah.
Cheers,
Awesome.
guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Thanks, guys.